The figures released by China's National Bureau of Statistics on Thursday showed economic growth powered higher in the fourth quarter, putting the full-year figure well above forecasts. And it far exceeded the official target of 8%, the figure that the government feels is necessary to provide sufficient employment and maintain social stability.
China's gross domestic product for 2009 was $4.91 trillion. That represents an increase of 8.7% over the previous year, based on comparable prices. The growth rate is down 0.9% compared to the previous year.
The last quarter's blistering growth rate of 10.7% year-on-year helped boost the annual rise in the economy beyond most predictions. It compared to 6.2% for the first quarter, 7.9% for the second and 9.1% for the third. The results confirmed that the government's massive $586 billion stimulus package and eased lending restrictions have helped the economy escape the worst of the recession in spite of a collapse in global trade. Ma said that China had faced severe difficulties in 2009, but that its economy had now recovered and was moving in the right direction. But he pointed out that, according to the UN standard which defines poverty as an income of less than $1 a day, there were still 150 million people living in poverty in China. He said this was China's reality and emphasized that despite the increase in GDP and economic strength, China was still a developing country.
Now, these figures are certainly impressive no matter which way you look at it. And if Japan's economy contracts next month when figures are released as expected, that'll mean China stepping into its shoes as the #2 economy in the world. In fact, Goldman Sachs is predicting that China could overtake the United States as #1 by 2027. Now, if all this sounds eerily familiar, remember that back in the 1980s, many were predicting that Japan itself would overtake the United States. That bubble was firmly burst by the 1990 stock exchange crash in Tokyo. The Chinese government will be desperate to avoid a similar fate.
And controlling an overheating property market will be high on the government agenda, with property prices soaring in recent months, especially in cities like Beijing and Shanghai. Another worry is inflation. Ma also reported that consumer prices rose 1.9% in the year to December, a marked acceleration on November's reading of 0.6%. But the government is taking steps, and this week imposed further controls on the state bank lending that has helped fuel new building. And it will be the success of these and other measures that will be key to deciding whether or not China can successfully achieve in the 2010s what Japan did not in the 1990s. Fergus Thompson, BON.